everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you everything that I have in my pantry as a vegan. Personally, I think these videos are really fun to watch, and I do have a pantry tour that I already filmed on my channel, but it's a little over a year old and I feel like my diet and pantry staples have changed a little bit since then, so I thought it would be good to refilm one to show you guys what's new. So, like I just said, I'm going to be showing you everything that I have in my pantry, but I did just want to give a little bit of a disclaimer first. Because I am a vegan food blogger and do a lot of recipe development, some of the staples that I have in my pantry may not be staples that you necessarily have to have in yours. And also along those lines, I do receive some products for free. However, I do buy some products with my own money, so I guess my pantry is sort of a little bit of a mix of everything. But all the stuff that I have downstairs in my pantry is the stuff that I actually do use every day and would consider my kitchen staples, because I do keep a few other random items like in another bin somewhere else in my house. So hopefully this video gives you a good idea of what a vegan pantry could look like in general. So without further ado, let's get down to the kitchen. Okay, so now we're downstairs in my kitchen. As you guys may have noticed, I usually don't film videos in my kitchen because it's pretty tiny and pretty cluttered and the lighting is not that great, but it's where my pantry is, so I'll take you through everything I have. Just a quick note, I live with a roommate and she's not vegan, but I'm only going to be showing you my stuff. Obviously, that's why it looks sort of divided. This is the main cupboards where we keep all of our things, and my stuff is on this side. And this is pretty much most of my pantry staples, so I'll go through all of these shelves. Okay, so this is the bottom shelf, and here I keep most of my like breakfast toppings and things that I use every single day. And I in general like to put things in mason jars just because I don't like how the packaging on items makes everything more cluttered, and I tend to buy a lot of items in bulk so I can store more things in mason jars, and it's nice to just see all of the ingredients of things that I have. So I use mason jars, I use like leftover peanut butter jars, really anything that's glass, I like to put stuff in it. So this section is definitely my like smoothie bowl toppers. I have some cacao nibs, which you guys know I love. These are coconut flakes. I have a little bit of goji berries, not too much. These are some golden berries. And then back here I have some mulberries. And these are just white chia seeds. And then this is some buckwheat, and then that's some finely shredded coconut. And all of these three containers are loose leaf tea. It's the tea that I drink more commonly. It's by the brand Rishi Tea. I just take the lid off and then the tea goes in there. And then over here, these are just the vitamins that I take every single day. So I have a B12, and then this is a vegan vitamin D3. And then the rest of the stuff in here is kind of like superfood powders. So this bin is just a bunch of random samples that I've accumulated over time, plus some tea that I just put in there. I don't really know why. But yeah, I don't use those too often. And then these I use every single day. This is just some maca powder. And then this is ashwagandha by the brand Sun Potion. I've been putting it in my green morning drinks. And then here I use these foods for like coloring my smoothie bowls or things like that. I have some blue spirulina powder. This is beet powder. That's cacao powder. That's just regular spirulina. And then that's some matcha powder. Then here on this second shelf, I mostly have nut butters and nuts and seeds, and then this is more like savory items. So this is just a jar of nutritional yeast. I refill this quite frequently, actually. And then this is some apple cider vinegar, and then back there is some popcorn kernels, and honestly, I hardly ever use these. And then I just have this random bag of dried persimmons. I don't really know why it's there, but it's just gonna sit there. Then in this aisle here, I have nuts that I more commonly use. So I have pumpkin seeds, some cashews, and some walnuts way back there. And then this whole section is nut butters. I really love nut butter. I think it's pretty great. A few of these are almost empty. So this is nutso. It's like a mix of different seeds. I really like the gem butters. This cashew curry one is more savory, and then these are more sweet, but I think the flavors are really good. Then I also just have some tahini This is coconut butter. This is some powdered peanut butter. And then I have a random jar of molasses back here. I used to eat this a lot more, but I hardly ever eat it now. And then I just have some peanut butter. And I actually didn't know this was back here, but this is another jar of tahini. This is actually my favorite brand of tahini. And then finally on the top shelf, I have all of my grains and beans, and I put these up here because it's harder to reach, and I usually cook these in bulk so I don't have to get through them as often. So I have all my grains over here. This is some short grain brown rice. It's my absolute favorite rice at the moment. This is just a wild rice blend. I actually got this for a YouTube video. And then I have a bag of quinoa. And then this is some white jasmine rice as well. And then over here I have my grains. So this is some green lentils. There's not very much left. And then I have a bag of red split lentils. I also have some dried bags of beans, but I keep those in a different spot just because I buy them in bigger containers. So I have like some black beans and pinto beans. And then this is mung beans. I bought them for one recipe and I bought too many, so I have some left over. Haven't really used them. And then this is some Vital Wheat gluten. You use this to make seitan. I specifically bought it when I made my buffalo chicken wings that I put in like a lunchbox video. And then over here, these are some broccoli sprouts. So I make my own broccoli sprout. Fun fact, broccoli sprouts are the cheapest food and the most nutritious. So like it's the least expensive food that has the most nutrients in it. And they're really good for you and they're really easy to make. I bought like a giant bag on Amazon. I can link it in this video if you guys want. And then back here I just have a little container of steel cut oats. I don't cook these as often just because they take longer to prepare and I'm usually pretty hungry in the morning when I want to eat. So that's everything that I keep in my cabinet over there. And then just really quickly, our spice cabinet is over here. I just have the bottom shelf and these are all the spices. I have a spice pantry tour video and that's pretty much the same, so I'll just link that to save time. The only thing that's really changed is that I've tried to switch out my spices for more organic spices recently, but I'm sort of gradually shifting into that. Then the other thing I have in the kitchen is this drawer down here, and this is mostly baking goods. It's like flour. So I have some cane sugar, which is what I use for my kombucha, and there's just a ton of different flours. There's like brown rice flour, coconut flour, whole wheat flour, buckwheat flour, and the lighting is pretty bad, but I don't know if you can see, there's this shelf up there. I just have like some baking soda. Let's see what else. Some coconut sugar. Oh my gosh, I can't get it. And then that is some cornstarch and arrowroot flour. I don't really use those very often. Then I just have a few sauces in this corner. It's just like soy sauce, rice vinegar, coconut vinegar, and I think some agave nectar. So because my kitchen is pretty small, my roommate and I have expanded to over here. So we have this random black box, and I just keep my oatmeal in here. So both of these containers are mine. One of them is rolled oats, one of them is quick cooking oats because I use different ones for different types. And then I also have a bag of muesli. This is my favorite muesli. And the other stuff in here is my roommate's. Over here on the kitchen table, I don't really have any pantry staples. It's just some like fruits that I'm waiting to ripen so I can put in the fridge. But I just want to say this is where I keep my kombucha. And then when I'm doing my second ferment, I keep the bottles down here because it's nice and dark. And then in this corner right here, I just have some apple cider vinegar, some balsamic vinegar, and some pasta sauce. But let's move on to this dude. So I'm already sitting on the ground, so we'll just start at the bottom. I mostly just keep potatoes down here. These are some gold potatoes. These are russet potatoes, and these are sweet potatoes. And yes, I know it looks really, really dirty right now. I didn't sweep the kitchen yet this week, guys, so don't hate on me. And it's like stuff from the onions. And then in this back corner, I just have some like random cans of coconut cream because I didn't know where to put them. But what I learned from my last video is you're supposed to keep your potatoes and your onions separate. So I keep my onions on the second shelf here. I don't know if that's far enough away, but whatever. So I have some yellow onions. I have some garlic and one red onion, which is the source of most of the mess, as you can see. And then I keep all of my tomato cans here. So I have some crushed tomatoes. Those are some fire roasted tomatoes, some tomato paste. And then back here I have like miscellaneous noodles. This is nori for sushi. These are like Japanese like yam noodles, and then that's some miso noodles, and then these are some dried navy beans that I just put there. Then on this top shelf in this corner right here, I usually keep my sweets, so I love these mango ginger chews. And then I have 2 chocolate bars. These are actually my 2 favorite brands of chocolate. This Hue Kitchen one, I've tried some of their nut butter stuffed ones and they're really good. And then my mom got this for me when she came to visit me, and I really like this brand as well. Then I have a random jar of some mustard seed. Don't really know why it's there. And I have some carob powder. I actually put this in this shelf because I was using too much of it and it's more expensive. So I needed to put it away from my main shelf so I use it like less frequently. And now I kind of forgot about it. And then over here I have like a lot of sauces that I'll use, mostly hot sauces for bowls and stuff. So this is some sriracha. This is some more sriracha. This is some Red Hot sauce. This is liquid smoke, which I use sometimes in recipes. And then this, I've never used this before. It's like a tom yum paste for soup. And then I have 2 more powder things back here that I have honestly never used. They got sent to me, and it's lucuma powder and mesquite powder. If you guys have any tips for how to use them, let me know, and I'll gladly use them. I just don't know what to do with them. So then on the top of my tower I have this little box, and I mostly keep like dried fruit and extra nuts in here, or as well as like random things. Like I buy my oats in bulk, so this is some leftover that didn't fit in that other container. And then I have 2 things of dates like this, just because this one was almost out and I've been doing a lot of recipe testing recently, so I needed to get another one. So there's one, and then that's the other one that's full. Then back here, this is a raw pizza crust. I used one of them in a video I did recently. This is some kombu, which is like seaweed strips. It's good for flavoring broth. Here's some avocado oil spray that I was given and I didn't want to throw out. This is a little random bag of peanuts. I have some bigger spice containers in here that I use to refill the ones in my cabinet just because it's kind of small. So I have some cumin, and this is chili powder. And then up in here, I repurposed this container to have some extra walnuts that didn't fit. This is sunflower seeds. These are some dried figs. That is pumpkin puree. This is my favorite snack from Trader Joe's, chili spice mango. That was a coupon for Kite Hill cream cheese. And then I have some craisins because I need them for a recipe. And then this is just some whole wheat spaghetti that, again, I am doing some recipe testing with. And then I just have a bag of clips to clip things to my bag when I like half use them. And I usually keep other things like leftover ties from produce and rubber bands up there as well. And I think that's everything. Just kidding, I forgot to show you guys that next to my cabinet I have these toodle boxes here, but it's easier to see from the other side, so I'll just do that. So this first bin really doesn't have any food in it. I just have a big bag of green tea, which I used to brew my kombucha, as well as this wheatgrass powder, and then there's a tiny container in here where I have some more tea. And then this hot mess is all of my tea bags. Honestly, I used to drink so much tea when I lived in Pittsburgh because it was a lot colder and it's harder for me to drink in Miami, so I've accumulated a lot of it. But Reishi tea is definitely my favorite. This is my favorite tea ever. They're turmeric ginger. And I also really like the raspberry leaf tea by Traditional Medicinal. Those are probably my 2 favorites. And then while we're here, this is my Berkey water filter. I got it for my birthday this year, and I really love it. I've had it for like a month, and I feel super fancy when I drink water from it because it's clean AF. And that is actually it. So I will end the tour here. Alright, we're coming back up here because the lighting is better, and that is everything that I have in my pantry. Now, as you guys probably saw, everything is a little bit cluttered just because I don't have too much space, and yes, I will admit that I probably have more food and more of a variety of items than I would probably need to survive. But as a foodie and as someone who works with food, I personally like to treat myself with food. So I would buy a more expensive jar of something versus going out to eat with some friends or buying a new t-shirt. I put more value in the products that I eat, so that's what is reflected in my pantry. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to ask them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. And if this is the first video that you're watching on my channel, be sure to hit that little button down there to subscribe. I post new videos 2 times a week. And other than that, I think that is everything. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye!